Primarily using the building as the access point. We've done that with on another campus where we actually you actually go in the building and you elevator through the building to bring you down to this level where you can have better access. You know, when you have these steep sites, it becomes very difficult to do ADA on these sites. You know, you've got 30 to 40 feet of elevation differences that exist on Merritt. And so ramping becomes almost, you know, madness. We actually have to have ramps, but to get around in ramps and that kind of differential becomes very difficult. So it becomes better to use elevators, and elevators best serve if you use the building as your transition zone, wherever you can. Phase 2 of this process would be the modernization of Building D, the one that building's being vacated, to modernize that building. The demolition of Building A, which we just referred to before. The modernization of Building Q here, and then a new parking lot would be installed in this area where Building A was. And then the other part of this is the part of the public-private partnership portion, which is the potential for student housing, which has been a major discussion up there, which could be incorporated here is what we're proposing on the campus side. There's also been discussion of that being incorporated across the street as well in this area number 6, which is also a big, huge 30-something acres of potential public-private partnership zone. And then the new Child Development Center is the other new building that is currently in the queue and has been approved at the state level anyway for a new child development program building, not a new CDC building, but a new child development program building that we are proposing to put here, which gives a good proximity to existing child care center. Oh, okay. That's a discussion here. Part of the discussion was that Building D, and this came from the student discussion we had before of the town hall, was that we've not created the new quad area here with the use of the building, the new building, new allied health building. We've not created this new center, and part of the discussion was that Building R, although it's got some great views from that main room, is little remote from the main campus for the student services. So part of the discussion was the possibility of moving some of those student services into Building D, and where it's on the center quad and on the main campus functions that are going on here. And so part of that would be then if that occurs, there may need to be some modernization of Building R to put some of the administrative offices, one of the things that we talked about, into this portion of the building, where the front portion would stay as with the large room and all that that you have there currently.
And then what would you do with the existing building?
Administration functions. And then the other class, because currently, well, back up, these buildings would then go back into classroom functions and those other functions which they had before, because I know these things have moved around a lot on this campus over the years. And this is a new quad that we're looking at occurring in this area right here, where the parking lot is, and another quad area right in this zone right here on the back side of Building D, which is right here, close to the student housing area. And then Phase 3 would look at a new, enhancing the front of the campus, modernizing the gym, and perhaps do some other assembly buildings, new athletic facilities. All of these, as I said, Phase 3 is work that is going to necessitate other involvement other than the district in order for these things to work. Okay. And that's the entry coming up. Go with this one. And there's a lot of discussion about the pool at Merritt. There was original idea for the pool to go in there, and this is an idea if the pool goes in, that area might look like where the pool be located. And overall campus view from the back side of the campus. And District Admin Center. That's this building. One of the key things here was redistributing some of the operational functions of this building and consolidating them together so that they work better. And so the departments work better and the compartments are together and not spread out all over, particularly the Educational Services Department, which is partially over at Laney, partially over in the the facilities building and partially over here. So this is existing campus, or well, existing buildings, not campus, right? Admin campus. And then the major functions for this building, we're looking at how to add space to this building in the short-term plan. And what we talked about there was adding a new building right here in the existing park lot right in front of this building. And that new building would be primarily for educational services, for your international students, as well as missions and records. All those functions want to move into an area that's right at the main entrance as you come into the campus, come into the district offices. Then the existing admin and records building over here will be converted to be for use for police services, so they would have better access to get out of here and get off the campus. And then we would add a Butler building in the back of the camp next to the just existing warehouse to expand the warehouse facilities, which then would free up space in this building for IT and the other functions that need to occur there. So it's basically reshuffling of all the various functions in these buildings and adding some more space to accommodate that. So in phase one would be the one-story prefab building that would be added onto to the warehouse, a two-story. And this, we're looking at this being perhaps being a modular building that would be put in the front of this existing building. Modernize the physical plant building. Modernize the existing mission and records building, which is officially named the Conroy Building, at the corner. And then do the renovation work within this building, where those functions of ed services that have moved out of here we can now reposition all the things in here, add some training rooms, add conference space, and those kinds of things within this building. And then fix up that wonderful shed you have in the back there. And this is the view of that from the estuary side, looking back towards the building. To the back of this building currently is here, and this would be the new building that would be in front of this building. That would be facing the street. And this is building from the other side, from the front entry side, so that you'd come in. Again, this is the existing building that's here now. This is the connector to the new building. So a solid walkway connection to the new building that's right here on the front side. And then we'd revamp the parking lot, because the international building would come out and the parking lot would be revamped to accommodate that. So you take out the portables that are right here currently and then make that one complete large parking lot to accommodate the functions for this center as well as the functions over here. Then the second part of this, that's phase one of this. Phase two of this is sort of the dreaming phase, is a lot of discussion about parking at Laney. And the need to perhaps put a parking garage in over the Laney parking lot. And so this addresses that in terms of a new parking garage over a portion of the Laney lot. And along with that, though, is office building as part of it and retail functions as part of that, and a new landscape plaza that connects back over to Laney College to create this connection across the Laney. At the same time, we're talking about the potential for narrowing the street somewhat so that this transition across the street is not as difficult as it is now. We slow the traffic down, provide more parking, and also create opportunities for the retail that we're proposing to put on the front side here. And this is a look of the new office building with the garage and retail over on this side, and the new office, roughly about a 6-story office building right there. That could be leased out. And then the last phase of that is, and this can be done a couple different ways. In this scheme, what we're looking at is a separate and brand new district admin center that would be here, and the potential, which Cheryl will talk about in a moment from Beverly Pryor, of relocating the child care center over to this side of the street in this location, and then demolishing all the buildings on this parcel that we are now. So this whole parcel becomes a developable parcel that the district can use to either partnership with someone, sell, or do whatever they need to do with all the parcel of land on this side of the estuary. Okay, and this district admin offices could be incorporated as part of a larger parking garage